Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Ankush here from Alif Consulting. Welcome in our Azure Service Bus video. Here is the agenda for this video. So we will be going to have the basic understanding about the Azure Service Bus. We will be going to understand what are the concepts are there, what is the namespace, right? And what are the advanced features we have with the Azure Service Bus. What are the compliances we will be going to get if we are using the Azure Service Bus? What are the client libraries which can be used or where service bus can be integrated, and at the end we will be going to have a little demo where I would be going to show you how exactly you can create a service bus and the rest of the configuration. So let's quickly jump to the introduction. So Azure Service Bus is a fully managed enterprise message broker with message queues and publish subscribe topics. Service Bus is used to decouple the application and services from each other and providing the following benefits, and the benefits are load balancing work across the competing workers, safely routing and transferring data and control across service and application boundaries, coordinating transactional work that required a high degree of reliability. Now, message bus is nothing but it's just the kind of I can say intermediate, or can allow you to have the integration services where you can integrate two applications where you want to pass any kind of information from one application to the another application, or where you want to send any information which is there in the one application to the another application, right? So service bus give you the ability to pass your messages or information from one application to the another application, where you can create your messaging queue, right? And that messaging queue can be help you to have a multiple integration across the multiple front end and back end applications as well. And with this one, it's provide you the benefits like a load balancing, routing and transforming the data, and basically coordinating with the transactional work, right? So these kind of things basically we will be getting as a benefit with the Azure Service Bus. So let's talk about the basic understanding of how the messaging is looks like. So data is transferred between the different application and services using the messages, right? A message is the container decorated with the metadata and the contain file. The data can be in any kind of informations, including a structured data encoded with the common formats such as JSON, XML, Apache, Orvo, and plain text, right? So as we know, when we are transferring a data from one application to the another application using the message, or I can say a service bus, right? Message can contain any kind of information. Message is nothing like but it's just the container where it's have a multiple information, can have a metadata, can contain the data, it can be in any formats, right? Here so let's talk about some of the common messaging scenarios, right? So first of all, messaging, transferring the business data such as a sales or purchase order journals and the inventory movements. Second one is decouple applications, improve reliability and scalability of application services. uh, Producer and consumer don't have to be online or ready to available at the same time, right? That's what this mean is load balancing, allow for a multiple uh, competing consumers to read from a queue at the same time, right? Each safely obtaining executive ownership to the specific messages, right? Topic and subscribers, enable one-to-one relationship between publisher and subscriber, allowing subscriber to select the particular message from a published message stream. Transactions allow you to do a several operation at in the scope of an atomic transaction, right? And then we have a messaging session, implement the high scale coordinator of workflows and multiplex transfer that required strict message ordering or a message deferral, right? So these are the some of the common messaging scenarios which is there and can be used with the applications where service bus can help you. So let's talk about the concept. So in the service bus, we have a two concept. One is called queue and another one called as a topic. Let's talk about the queue. As you can see in a picture, uh, messages are sent and received from queue. Queue store messages until the receiver application is available to receive or process them. That's a one which is a very commonly used by all the developer to have the integration between the two applications. The second concept, we have a topic, right? You can also use topic to send and receive the message, while a queue is often used for point to point communications, like one to another point, right? Topics are useful in publish and subscriber scenario. So in queue, your sender is going to be one, your receiver is going to be one. But in topic, your sender can be only one, but your receiver and can be have a uh, multiple receiver and can be happen at the other end. So if you have that kind of scenario where you have a multiple receivers, then you can go for topic only. The next is a very important thing in the service bus is the namespaces. A namespace is a container for all the messages components, like it's either going to be queue or it's going to be a topic. Multiple queues and topics can be in a single namespace, and namespace often serve as an application container. A namespace can be compared to a server in terminology of the other broker, but the concepts are not directly equivalent. A service bus namespace is your own capacity of a large cluster made of a dozen of all active virtual machines, right? So this is how, and this is what your namespace is. So namespace can be spent, or whenever you're using a namespace, it can be spent across all the three availability zones. So you will get availability and robustness benefit for of running the message broker at any scale, and you don't need to be worried about any kind of underlying hardware, underlying complexities, right? Service bus is a serverless messaging services. So this is the what namespace is, and that's how it can help you to run your service bus on Azure. Advanced features. Yes, we do getting some of the advanced features with the with a service bus, right? And this can help you to solve your more complex messaging problem, right? So benefits are, the first benefit we have is the message session, right? To realize a first in first out guarantee in a service bus, use the sessions, right? Message session enable joint and ordered handling of the unbounded sequence of related messages. Second one, the feature which we're getting is auto forward. The auto forwarding enable you to chain a queue or subscriptions to the another topics or queue that is a part of same namespace. When you have auto forwarding enabled, service bus automatically remove the messages that are placed in a first queue and put them into the secondary queue or the topic. So that's where you will be getting a benefit. If your one queue is full or it's no longer processing a message because the receiver end is not available, then auto forwarding can help you to send or move that message from one queue to the another queue or one topic to the another topic as well. uh, Dead lettering. So service bus support a dead lettering queue, which is also known as a DLQ, to hold the message that cannot deliver to any receiver or message that cannot be processed. You can then remove those messages from DLQ and inspect them. So that's one of the thing which you also get with the service bus, right? Now how it can be helped. So let's take an example. If there is any message which has been not received at the other end because there is some error, and that receiver end is not able to recognize if that message belongs to him or not, right? So he is going to receive that message or not. So that's where DLQ can help you, and you can review your message and you can fix them if there is any issues. The fourth benefit, we have a scheduled delivery. So if this is something like delaying the process where we can put the message in a queue, we can delay them according to the requirement, and we can schedule the delivery. The next we have is the message deferral. When a queue or subscriptions client receive a message that is that's willing to process, but for which processing cannot currently possible because of special circumstances within the application, then entity can be defer interval of the masses at the later points, and the masses can be remain in a queue or subscription, but set aside. So message deferral means where you need to have, or you have put it a message in the queue, right? But somehow your other end is not willing to receive it, not able to receive it due to some special circumstances. He might be doing something different within the application. That's where it can be remain in the same queue and can be set as a aside. But later on, as soon as application is free and not doing any kind of work, that's where message can be accepted. The next benefit we have at transactions. A transaction groups two or more operation together into a executive scope. So that's something you can do if you are having a transactions feature enabled. It can be group one or two operation together into a executive scope. Filtering an action, so that's something you can define. Subscription can define which message they want to receive from the topic, and these messages are specified in the form of one or more namespace rule. Auto deletion in the idea, that's something you can enable. Means if you have set a specific idle timeout, automatically message will be automatically removed or deleted from the queue. So that's something you can set, and by default the idle duration is 5 minutes, but that's something you can increase. Duplicate deletion, right? This is the one of the thing which is a very important. If there is a multiple message has been there with the same content or same value, uh, then a service bus can help you to detect the duplication and can help you to remove those from the service bus also. The next feature which we have is the shared access signature. It's a role-based access control and manage identities, right? So these things, service bus do support the shared access signature, role-based access control, and the managed identity for the Azure resources, right? The next feature which we have a geo disaster recovery, that something is there. We can have our secondary reason enabled, and we can basically have our app service bus replicated to another region, and it can give us the geo disaster recovery in case of any issues with our primary region. The last feature which we have is security. So Azure Service Bus supports standard advanced message queuing protocol 1.0 and the HTTP and the REST protocol, which means it's providing us the more security. The next thing which we have is the compliance. So the primary wire protocol for service bus is AMQP 1.0, open ISO/IEC standard. It's allow customer to write application that work against service bus and the on-premise brokers such as ActiveMQ and RabbitMQ. M sorry the AMQB protocol guide provide the detailed information in case of you want to build such an abstractions, right? So service bus premium is fully compliant with Java slash Jakarta EE, which is Java Messaging Service 2.0 APIs, and Service Bus standard support for JMS 1.0 subset focused on queues. JMS is a common abstraction for message broker and the integrations with many application and the framework, including the popular Spring framework. To switch from one uh, or other broker to the Azure Service Bus, you just need to recreate the topology of queue and topics and change the client provided dependency and the configuration. So as it's mentioned in the compliance, so yes, our service bus premium do supported for Java, which is Java message service, and the standard support JMS 1.0, which means if there is any other provider like ActiveMQ or RabbitMQ, we don't need to do any kind of much changes within the application. We just need to have our topology recreated like a queue and topics, and we can go ahead and integrate our services with the Azure Service Bus. All right. So the client library. So here are the following supported service bus client library which are available via Azure SDK. So it support all the libraries like service bus for .NET, for Java, for Java JMS 2.0, JavaScript and TypeScript, Python, right? So all of them are a supported client libraries we have. So next is Azure Service Bus primarily protocol is AMQP 1.0, and it can be used for any AMQP 1.0 compliant protocol clients. Several open source AMQP clients have samples that explicitly demonstrate service bus interoperationality, operationability. So like how exactly you can run the operations. So you can review the guide, and then there are some of the libraries which can be used for MQB client integration. So yes, all of those libraries like for Java, for C++, Python, PHP, Ruby, Go, all of the libraries are available which you can use for integration. All right. Well, let's move to the demo. So in the demo, I would be going to show you how exactly you can create a service bus and how exactly you can create a queue and topics as well. So I do have already created a service bus, but I would be going to create a new one because this one has been created with the basic, but and we are not getting all of those features. So let's quickly jump into the search bar and search for service bus. Yet, so this is the service bus. You just need to come on this console, search for service bus and click on it, and then click on create. Just define the resource group where you want to create the service bus, and define the name sp01, and define the location where you want to create it, and then pricing tier. So I am selecting for the premium one, and how many messaging unit you want to create. So I'm just creating a one only. Next, what kind of minimum TLS version you want to support? Do you want to enable the local authentication? That's something you can do. Do you want to enable the private access, which means you want to enable the private endpoint for this service bus? That's something you can do. Service bus with premium support or with the standard do support the private endpoint, right? But in my case, I'm not doing it since it's just a lab. And then you can define your tags and just click on next, and it will be going to review your service bus configurations or the parameter which you have defined, and then you can click on create. So as soon as you click on create, it's going to take a little bit of time to get this service bus deployed on the Azure. So meanwhile this is getting deployed, let's move to my existing service bus which has been deployed as a basic tier. So as soon as you go into the service bus, uh, you would see like it's going to give you all the information, what is the status, when it has been created, when it has been last updated, what is the pricing tier is. Although you do can update your existing pricing tier of this service bus by clicking on the pricing tier, and then you need to select it what kind of tier you want to create. So if you really want to go into move it to the standard, you just need to select the standard and click on save. It's going to take a little bit of time to get this pricing tier update, and this will be changed as a standard one. A part of that, you do have a shared access policies where you can create your access policies, right? Like what kind of policy is going to be, and then you can basically define those policies on your queue and topics as well. You do have a geo application options. As I told you, the geo application options can help you to have your this service bus replicated from one region to another region, and the geo disaster recovery feature is only available in the premium, right? You do have an encryption. You can enable the customer manage or Microsoft manage encryption in this service bus. If you go into the configuration, you can specify what is your TLS configuration, minimum TLS configuration you want to use. So you can do that. A part of that, in the basic one, I think now it has been changed to the standard one. Uh, Sorry, in the basic one, you will be only going to get only the queue feature, but when you moving it to the premium one, you will be going to get a more features which are not available with the basic, right? So you get the topics which you can create with the premium and standard. You will be going to get a queue where you can create your queue. So creating a queue is pretty much straightforward. You just need to define the queue name. Let's say a live demo test queue. I can define what is the maximum queue size is going to be, what are the maximum message sizes for this queue is going to be, what are the maximum delivery count, auto deletion is need to be enabled. As I mentioned, auto duplication is need to be enabled. I can do that as well. That lettering uh, is need to be enable the session, forward the message to queue. So all of these features which we talk into the our slides, we can enable it here, right? And then we just need to click on create, and it's just going to validate the name and the other stuff. Once it's done, you will be see you will be able to get your queue here which has been created. So once you go inside the queue, you will be able to get a more information about this queue, right? So if you really want to have the share access policy configured, this is the currently queue URL which you can use. And although this queue URL would not be accessible, right? Its token is invalid because that's service bus queue cannot be accessed directly from the browser. For that, you need to integrate it with the with the client libraries, right, with the application, right? So this is how you can create a queue. As same way you can create the topic as well within the service bus. So for the topic, you just need to do a same thing. You just need to define the topic name, and then you to define the maximum topic size. What are the maximum topic message size is going to be. You see, with the topic, we don't get all the features which we get in a queue. We can get auto deletion or duplication detection only, but with the queue, we get a lot of other features as well, right? And then I just need to click on create. As soon as I have done, it will be going to create a one queue for me. Sorry, one topic for me. So once you go into topic, you will be able to get further configurations which you can use. Most of the further configuration is going to be remain same except one, which is a subscribers or subscriptions. You can create your subscriptions at the receiver end, right? What are the maximum delivery count is and all those things, and from here you can further configure your topics as well. A part of that, we do have monitorings available within the service bus, which can help you to do and get the metrics like overviews, requests, messages directly from the Azure portal. Well, that's it in this demo. I hope you like this video. If you like, please click on like and subscribe for more upcoming videos, and feel free to reach us if you have any questions. Thank you.